Imagine if someone told you there was a secret group of people who've been stealing billions of dollars right under our noses, and we may never get that money back. You'd probably think they're crazy. But what if I told you that not only is this happening, it's happening right now? Welcome to my channel. Today's story is about a secret cabal that's been stealing billions of dollars for decades. They created a complex web of fake companies, hidden bank accounts, and secret transactions to launder their money. And the scary thing is, they may never be caught. The story starts with a simple idea. What if you could create a company that doesn't really exist? A company that has all the trappings of a real business, like a registered office and a local bank account, but no actual operations. This type of company is called a shell company, and it's surprisingly easy to set up. All you need is a few $100 and some basic paperwork. Once you have your shell company, the next step is to create some fake invoices. These are basically digital IOUs that say one company owes another company a certain amount of money for goods or services that were never actually exchanged. With these fake invoices in hand, you can transfer money from one company to another without actually doing any business. This might seem like a lot of effort for a little scam, but it's all done to avoid detection. After all, when you transfer money between two real companies, there are paper trails. With fake invoices, you create a paper trail that doesn't lead anywhere, and that's just the beginning. The biggest part of the secret network's playbook is moving the money around. This involves setting up bank accounts in countries with weak banking regulations, transferring the money to offshore accounts, and then back again to somewhere safe. By the time the money is moved, it's almost impossible to trace. But why do this in the first place? Why go through all the trouble of creating fake invoices and moving money around? Well, the answer is simple: to make money disappear. And it turns out that there's a huge market for this. Corrupt politicians use it to hide their ill-gotten gains. Drug dealers use it to launder their money. And even major corporations use it to avoid taxes. The secret cabal was able to grow so big because they offered a service that was in high demand. But that also meant that they had a lot of competition. In fact, the secret cabal wasn't just one group of people, it was a whole network of groups, each trying to outdo the other. In the early days, the groups were small, maybe just a few people working together. But as time went on, they started to grow. They hired more people, set up more bank accounts, and moved more money. Before long, they were moving billions of dollars a year. As the network grew, it became more sophisticated. The groups started using complex webs of shell companies to move money around, and they even started using cryptocurrencies to make it harder to track their transactions. But despite all their efforts, the secret network wasn't invisible. There were plenty of people who knew how it worked. In fact, there were so many people involved that sooner or later someone was bound to spill the beans. When that happened, the authorities finally had a chance to crack down on the secret network. But it wasn't easy. The groups involved were so well connected that it was hard to find a way in. Plus, they had a lot of money, which meant they could hire good lawyers and accountants to help them hide their tracks. Despite the challenges, the authorities eventually managed to break into the secret network. They arrested some of the key players and shut down some of the groups. But by that time, much of the money had already been moved and it would never be recovered. The secret network was a failure of the system. It showed that the financial system could be gamed and that the people who enforced the rules could be bought. It also showed that even the most complex financial instruments can be beaten with a little ingenuity. Today, there are still secret networks operating around the world, and while the authorities have gotten better at cracking them down, they'll never be able to stop them completely. After all, as long as there's money to be made, there will be people willing to find ways to hide it. Have you ever wondered how much money is being laundered around the world? Or have you ever been curious about how drug cartels move their money? If so, I invite you to check out the links below.